Hello crazy fam, welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Tori and I do a bunch of videos on helping you figure out adulting while I'm attempting to figure it out myself. And a big part of this time of year, if you didn't know, it's like cuffing season. I don't know if I fully believe in it, but you got like all the holidays jammed together, it's getting colder, you feeling like you want to like hang out with someone a little bit more personally because there's no more summer activities. Whether you believe it or not, there's a lot more people that are trying to date and get in actual relationships, which means a lot more people that have not ever attempted dating apps are gonna be entering that world and kind of maybe lost on what are like the pros and cons of each app, what apps are even out there anymore. So whether you just create a profile or you don't know which apps there are anymore, this video is definitely for you. I'm gonna give you a variety of perspectives on 3 different dating apps that I find to be the most popular and completely free. With all the dating apps out there, a lot of times you ask yourself, which one should I sign up for? Which one should I personally invest my time and effort into? Because as you get older, a lot of times you have less time in general, let alone for dating, and it sometimes falls behind because you're like, oh, I got work, I got laundry, I got cleaning, I got all these other things, and dating sometimes falls to the back burner, and you don't want to do that. You want to make sure that you are putting effort and time into it, and I do believe that dating sometimes is a numbers game, especially when it comes to apps. I'm not saying go on 5 billion dates or talk to 5 billion different people. I'm just saying that there are limitations to every single app, and sometimes when I run out of something or I get what I want from one app, I will go to another. So the 3 that I'm gonna go over are Tinder, Bumble, and Hinge. Those I find to be the most popular completely free dating apps unless you want an advanced feature, which you don't need. Though without those advanced features, that is why I sometimes bump from one app to another. And also sometimes depending on the area that you live in, people might use one more than the other. Now let's get right into the first dating app, which is gonna be Tinder. But before I do that, I do want to mention that I can't tell you what's gonna be the perfect dating app for you, or which one's a go and which one's a no, because it really depends on what you are looking for personally, and something that I might find a pro or a con, you might find the opposite. So I'm gonna try to go at it as the most unbiased perspective that I possibly can so that you can figure out if it's a pro or con for you and pick the right one. I thought it was best to start out with Tinder because, well, it's kind of the app that I'm blocked on, and it's one of the earlier dating apps. I think when people think of dating apps, they think of Tinder because Tinder kind of started out as like one of the first places that was like free to go on a dating app. It wasn't like Match.com or Christian Mingle or Farmers Meet or whatever, all those different weird ones that were mostly paid. So I think when people think of online dating or dating apps, the first one that comes to mind is Tinder. And Tinder definitely has its, what's the word for it, stigmas associated with it. And one of the biggest ones is that people on there are there for one thing and one thing only. And I wouldn't say the stigma's completely wrong. And that one thing is, well, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this in a video or if I would get like adultified. Like it's supposed to be an adult only video because I said this, but sex. They're only on there for sex. And I would say that it kind of is true, but it really depends on what area you live in, who's gonna be on the app. So I'm not gonna go over what type of people you'll meet on that because that really just depends. You have to try it out for yourself. I'm gonna go over the literal app-like things about it. And one of the biggest ones is that it is a very visual, not informational-based app. So if you're looking for someone based on their personality and the certain qualities about them first, or let's say you think that you don't give off the best presentation, whether you're a bad photographer or you just don't come off good in photos, whatever the reason is, if you are not a visual type of dater, then Tinder isn't for you because it's a very swipe, 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 swipe app. It's an app where you don't read the information hardly ever to never. I think the only thing I scroll down for is like height and age, and that's about it. So it's pros and cons to it. If you want to be really quick dating app that allows you to just go swipe, 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 whichever way you want to go, then that's the app for you. But if you're looking for more informational, it's definitely not it. As for the people that I meet on there, it is a variety of people. I meet people that want relationships that don't. I meet people that are far away and not far away. I believe you can still set your distance, so that makes things a lot easier. So if you don't want to go so far for a date or to meet someone or someone that you're talking to, you want them to be closer, you can still set your distance so the people that you're swiping on are closer to you. And I guess I have to touch upon what I said, and that is why I am blocked on Tinder. Now, I seriously don't understand it because I know plenty of dudes that do this on a regular basis, but basically one of my friends took my app one night and just swiped on every single dude, like just went like this for like a long period of time, and I think it was like the next day I got like an email letting me know that I violated Tinder's terms and policies and rules or whatever, and that there was no way to negotiate it. There was no way to take it back or be like, hey, this happened, or I think this is a mistake. It's like, nope, cut off, you are done, no second chances, no fighting it, no nothing, and you can never make a Tinder account again. Just never end up trying to create another account with like a fake email and fake phone number and all that different stuff because it wasn't one of my favorite apps. Like the next one I'm gonna tell you about, which is Bumble, and I believe it has like the pros of Tinder, but takes away some of the cons that Tinder has. Now you've all heard of the birds and the bees, right? Well, Bumble is... I don't know what I was going for there at all, but the next one I want to talk about is Bumble, and yes, it does remind me like the Birds and Bees Bumble type of thing. It's not Birds and Bees, that's a chapstick. Birds and Bees, isn't that the sex talk? Either way, Bumble is another dating app that is a little bit less visual than Tinder. It is still very visual though. I would just say that it has some other pros or cons depending on who you are. And depending on the day, sometimes I find this a pro, sometimes I find this a con, and the biggest part of this dating app is that women message first. And whether you are a dude or a female watching this, that could be a good or a bad thing to you. As a female, personally, it depends on the day. A lot of times I do not want to message first, which is why I will go over another app after this, which is Hinge. But the reason why I do have some days where I do maybe want to start the conversation, I'm feeling a little bit different that day. And maybe you are the type that likes to start the conversation. You like to initiate things. Or you're the dude and you want a girl to reach out to you. You want to stop being the one that starts the conversation first. Then Bumble is for you because they have to start it first. But the thing is, they don't have to talk to you. So if it's a bunch of women that you match with that don't really feel like starting the conversation, then you're not going to be able to talk to them. You're not going to be able to reach out to them. You're not going to be able to do something to set yourself apart from the other people that they match with because you don't have an opportunity to say anything. And as for the females, you're gonna have a bunch of dudes on there that match back with you and you're kind of gonna be like, oh, who do I choose to talk to type of thing. And sometimes you just end up talking to no one because no one's really standing out to you because they don't have an opportunity to message outside of their profile to spark your interest. Though the one thing is that will help you at least push a conversation a little bit more, and I haven't seen this on any other free dating apps thing, is a timer. So before I go over the timer, let's go over the basics of what the app is like. So it is very Tinder-like where you're just gonna swipe, swipe, swipe on profiles. You can scroll a little bit on the profile if you want to see some more information, but a lot of times people are just swipe, 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 swipe. And when you swipe on someone and they happen to already swipe on you, then you will get this match thing that pops up and it'll let you guys know that you both swiped on each other's profile. I'm not sure how it looks from the guy's perspective when the match happens, but as for women, once the match happens and you know there's a match, you have a little message box section where you're allowed to message right in that moment. And usually that's what I will do because that's the only way that I will ever message first is if I just do it right in that moment when I know that I'm interested and I'm really lame, and a lot of times I'll just say hey with a smiley face and that's it. And I remember one guy even told me, he's like, try again. Like, it was funny, like I laughed about it. It kind of sounds maybe a little bit dick-like, but I thought it was pretty funny. And I did try again. But point is, once you get over to the message section, you'll have these little bubbles on top which show people's like profile picture, like that first picture they used, and that'll let you know that those are all the people that swipe back on you that maybe didn't swipe before you swiped. So let's say you swiped on someone, they hadn't seen your profile yet, then later in the day, they see your profile and they swipe on it. Then it's a match and you have the opportunity to start a conversation. That's how the little bubble will pop up there. And when that bubble is there, you have a certain set time period to message them before they'll disappear. Like the match is gone, you'll have to pay extra to like keep the match longer. Which I really feel bad because sometimes like I'll just decide that I don't want to talk to someone, I won't unmatch on them, I'll just keep them up there until they disappear. And then I've known people that will pay to extend it and I feel really bad because I just should unmatch with them because like I didn't plan on talking to you and I'm sorry that you paid money to try to have the opportunity for me to talk to you, like have more opportunity for me to message you. And usually I will because I'll just feel bad that they spent money. Like, I know it's like, I think you pay for like more than one like opportunity to do that, so it's not like they're just using it only on me, they're probably using it on other people too, but I just feel bad, okay? So I talked to them, but point is, after you message them, they also have to message you within a certain period of time so that the match stays there. Because let's say you message them and they don't message you back within a time period, like if the timer restarts again, then the match is gone. And that's definitely happened to me before, whether I don't message or they don't message in time. I've had people reach out to me on Instagram and be like, hey, the match expired, like message me here. Because obviously neither one of us want to pay for it. And that's also another thing, is a lot of times I do put my Instagram handle in my profile. If you want to be that public, you can. If you don't. But personally, I like it because sometimes people like to talk outside of the app, or they want to see more information. I also do social media. I do YouTube, I do Instagram stuff, I do TikTok stuff. I'm not making money on it, but I do it, and I have to be okay with that if they want to go on a date with me type of thing. So that's why I put my handle in there, so if they want to check it out, they can find all that out before they decide they want to meet up with me. And that also allows to kind of bypass that timer thing, but not completely, because it's not always a guarantee that someone's going to also have their handle on there. They're going to reach out to you. Either way, that timer thing definitely helps initiate a conversation sooner. But it is a pro and con to it because, well, one, someone could just be like, oh crap, I haven't been on the app, I didn't realize that you matched with me type of thing, and then they would have if they had an opportunity to. Like, they were actually on the app when it happened, because sometimes I don't pay attention when I get notifications, and I don't even realize someone swiped back on me because it was like days later or weeks later, whatever it is. And I won't message in time, or you won't message in time, whatever it is. So that's definitely the negative side of it. And also the negative side of it is sometimes I'm just not in the mood to talk. So like, I'll shoot a lame message just because I don't want it to disappear. And sometimes you don't want to start your conversation off with someone in a lame manner just because you want to avoid like unmatching with them because of the timer thing. But maybe it's a good thing for you, because I'm definitely one of those people that doesn't start a conversation enough or doesn't message people. I'll kind of just leave those matches in there. Like, I'll just treat it like a game. I'll just be like, swipe, 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 swipe. Almost like that's going on a date or putting any real effort in, but it's not. So that timer makes it so like, no, you have to start a conversation. Okay, you gotta start it. And maybe that will help you too, because it'll push you to do something, especially if you are new at this. Sometimes you need that little push to help you keep doing this so that you don't just leave those matches in there and you never talk to them. But after that timer is gone, it is really solely up to you to keep that conversation going. There's nothing else there that's gonna help you. It's kind of like you're all up to yourself on it at that point, and I do think that that's important, because you got to put that effort in yourself and really want this, whatever it is that you are looking for. It does at least tell you like your turn, I believe, when it's like your turn to message. Like, you open the message but you didn't respond, that little your turn thing will pop up, so that you at least know that like of all the people on the list, like, hey, no, you got to message that person because you haven't messaged back. So that's another feature, but for the most part, it is all left up to you at that point. And then I think the kind of in between of both of those is best of both worlds. I can't sing for crap. But either way, you know that like Hannah Montana song where it's like, best of both worlds? I'm not even following like the beat or anything. Like, I think if I had it in front of me and had the music, I could be a little bit better. But let me get past my singing and the reason why it pops in my head, and that's because I think Hinge really is the best of both worlds when it comes to dating. There is a huge negative con that I will tell you about at the end, which is why I think you really do need to have more than one app. But let's go into the pros first. So, it is not a completely visual app. They do a lot more effort into trying to get you to actually scroll further on the profile, read something about someone, see the other photos. Don't judge it on that one first photo you see, because not everybody chooses the best first photo. Like, you looked so much better in those other photos, or I learned so much more about you that I was more attracted to you, and that app kind of forces you to not just be swipe, swipe, swipe. And I find that very important. Sometimes I am in the mood to just swipe, 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 which is why I have the other apps. But when I want to have more substance to the reason why I start a conversation with someone, or the reason why I'm attracted to someone, or the reason why I want to meet someone up, that's definitely it. It gives me more of a starting point instead of having to spark a conversation and then learn everything about someone and realize they're not right for me. I can learn a lot more based on their actual profile, and I feel like a lot more people on Hinge fill it out and actually put some effort into it compared to other dating apps, at least from what I've seen personally. And the reason why I say it's not just a swipe, swipe, swipe app is because when you go like scroll past the person's profile, it has questions and answers. And that question and answers, or it's like statements, and then there's different pictures. You can put captions to your pictures. The really, really cool thing about them is that you can like specific aspects of their profile and not just like that specific picture they have, because I think other apps are starting to implement that more, where you're not just liking the profile, you're liking a specific photo. But Hinge has had that for a really long time, or since the beginning. I'm not sure, I definitely didn't use it on starting day, but I like that it doesn't only let you like it, it lets you comment on it. So if you want to spark a conversation, or if you want to stand out past all the other people that like that person's profile, say something funny, say something that catches their eye, because I will definitely admit that if someone just likes my photo, they have less of a chance than someone that likes my photo and puts a comment that like catches my eye. If you can catch my eye, you have way, way more of a chance of me sparking up a conversation or responding to you or swiping back on you, whatever it is, if you catch my eye. And just liking me isn't gonna catch my eye. Let's be honest, we have so many likes on dating apps now that means basically nothing. So if you can find a way to stand out or spark a conversation early, I think that is so gosh darn important. And I did mention liking people's photos / their profile, and unlike the other apps where you swipe and then when you swipe on someone you find out they swiped on you, Hinge allows you to see the people that like your profile. So you don't have to wait until you happen to swipe on them or happen to not swipe on them, because maybe you're more likely to swipe back on someone if you knew they swiped on you. Like you knew it was a guarantee that they were interested in you too, that maybe you would let down some of your expectation checklist type thing. So I find that really cool that I can see who likes my profile. I can go through, I don't have to wait until I swipe on them. Or when I swipe on someone, it's not like, wait, am I gonna get swiped back? Is it gonna be like, are they gonna like me? And then you wonder like if you didn't get that like match thing or whatever on Bumble when you swipe on someone, it's like, wait, have they just not seen my profile yet? Have they said like no to my profile? If they said no to my profile, why do I get their profile? So many different questions that run through my head like instantly, like it's just like a second thought, but it's still there that you don't have to worry about with Hinge, because you know who likes your profile. You can go through them. You can pay extra if you want to see all the people that like you at once, but I don't think that's really necessary. I just go through individually and either X them or heart them if I want to talk to them. So it's not bad at all. And then you actually have the section where you can see the people that like you, and then you have the separate section where you can start liking people's pictures and comments and all those different aspects of the profile. And then there is the message section. So unlike the Bumble message section where the woman has to message first and there's all those like timed things going on to try to initiate a conversation, Hinge does not have that. A guy can message first, which I definitely like a lot more, because I won't lie, I'm the person where I want you to message me first. I don't want to message you first. I will do it once in a while, especially if I'm online late at night and I'm bored. But a lot of times I want them to start this conversation. I want them to put effort in, especially if I like their profile. Like, it's your turn, okay? But the one thing that is really cool is that not only that either party can message first, but also you can have it set up where when you swipe back on someone or you like someone, whatever, it does this thing where it's like you invite them to start the conversation. So like you're not saying anything, but you're kind of saying like, hey, I'm not gonna say anything, so like how about you say something first? I don't know if that makes sense at all, but I like that feature too. It's just a kind of to try to push the conversation to start. All these apps are trying to push and initiate a conversation, and Bumble does it a lot with their time features. Hinge does it with their ability to say like, hey, you start the conversation type of thing, but then after that, it is all up to you. No matter what dating app you are on, it is your responsibility to keep the conversation going. Once you guys have matched, the timers are gone, all that, it's now your responsibility to engage in conversation, to possibly meet them, to possibly date them. That is all up to you and the effort that you put into it. And that's no matter what app you are on or if you are in person. It is up to you to keep it going. And I did mention there is a huge con to the app that actually didn't used to be there, and it has made it so that I can't only recommend that app anymore. Before I could have been like, if you want to choose one app, choose this app. But now with this new feature, I can't say that. I have to say you have to have another app if you plan on having Hinge. It's just not realistic. If you want to keep it free, you need another app. And that is because, hate this so much, there is now limited likes. You can only like so many profiles in a given, I think it's like 24 hours or a day or whatever it is. I'm not even sure how many likes it is. It doesn't tell you, just all of a sudden it's like, you're out of likes, and you're like, oh, okay, I guess I'm done with that tonight. Like, go on another app because I'm not about to pay for it, okay? So, especially when it didn't used to be a, like, paid for feature. You used to get it completely free. You could swipe on as many people as you freaking wanted to. But now you gotta pay to like more profiles. So I would say that if you have Hinge, have a Bumble too, so that when you're out of likes, you can go on the other app. Because I'm the type of person late at night, this is what I will do for a long period of time. I am a binge dater. Like, I'm a binge online dating trier. Like, I won't do it for days or weeks or months or whatever it is, and then all of a sudden I'll just be going on there for like an hour looking at people's profiles, seeing everything about them, stalking their Instagrams, trying to figure out if they're a creep or they have kids or all these different things that I'm trying to figure out that I will just binge for a long period of time. And Hinge, you took away my free binging. It's not the same anymore. So like I said, get a Bumble in addition to a Hinge if you want it, or just get a Bumble because they don't have the limited likes thing that Hinge has. But I really like the informational and the more conversational and personality aspect that Hinge does still have, thank goodness. Who knows what they will take away next and try to get us to pay it for. Some people might pay for it. If you want Hinge and you want to pay for that feature, props to you. I just don't personally think it's worth it. I'll just go to the other app. And hey, then I see a different variety of people, because one of the biggest things that I found in my specific area when it comes to Hinge is I find more diversity on there. When it comes to Bumble, I mostly just see a ton of white guys, and that's not really my speed. So when I go on Hinge, I like it a lot better because I do see just so much diversity. But that might not be the case for your neighborhood, which is why I didn't go over that more specifically, like the type of people I meet, because it can be different for your area. So it might be Bumble's more diverse, or you might want less diverse. Whatever it is, you'll have to figure out which one has the type of people that you are looking to date or engage with in some way, shape, or form. I don't know, maybe you're looking for a friend. Overall, no matter what dating app that you choose to go on or not go on, just go in it with a good perspective, go into it positively, put that effort in, and you will get something from it. And don't be scared of it, because nowadays almost everyone is on an online dating site. We're all wishing that we could meet people in person, I think, but the options around us are limited. So don't think that you're gonna be the only newbie on there, or that you're doing something wrong or saying something wrong, because this is a really numbers game type of thing. You're going to talk to a lot of people that you're not going to meet. You're going to like a lot of profiles that you're not going to meet or aren't going to like you back. And it's the same thing for the other person. So don't let it get to you in any way, shape, or form in a negative way. It's really just something you can do in your free time that could potentially help you meet people that you wouldn't meet in person. And really, you do get to see a bunch of people. I'm like, I would have never met this person. I would have never started a conversation. Even if we didn't work out to end up dating, I met someone that I'm friends with now. And that's an amazing thing that I wouldn't have gotten without these dating apps. So give it a shot, put your effort into it. Now, there are a few more popular dating sites out there, but a lot of them are paid ones, and I am not really a paid app type of person, because I don't think that's really something you need to be paying for with all the options out there, especially since a lot of other people feel the same way. It really limits the amount of people you see, and since it is paid and it's really based on trying to make money from like you specifically and not like advertising or other avenues, I believe that it doesn't have the intentions of finding you someone. It has more the intentions of making money. So you can definitely try those other dating apps, but I would say start with these three. Whether you decide one is best for you, two are best for you, or maybe all three. Take what you learn from the different dating apps and apply them and put effort in, because everything is just what you make of it. And if you're gonna slack around and never message people back, or never reach out first, or never make actual plans, then nothing's ever really gonna come of it. And you can't blame that on the type of dating app you chose. Like, that's your own choice. If you don't have that initiative there, you're not gonna end up finding someone from this. I'm not saying that if you put all the effort in, you are guaranteed to find someone, but it is a heck of a lot more likely if you're putting effort in, no matter what app you are on. Though if you're looking for a relationship, I wouldn't per se start with Tinder. And feel free to leave feedback down below on the dating apps that you have tried, whether it's the ones I've mentioned or maybe another free one that I don't even know about. So like, tell a girl about it, because I am not always the most up to date when it comes to the online dating world, because, well, it's not easy and it seems like it's always changing. And I will see you next Wednesday with another video on helping you figure out adulting while I'm attempting to figure it out myself. And I would really appreciate it if you go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button down below to join the Crazy Fam if you haven't already. It really helps me out. And I hope you have a great rest of your morning, evening, night, whatever it is for your Crazy Fam. I'll see you soon.